Just like Thursday, the boat in trouble. This time, Nomura was able to wriggle off the hook with 1:30 to go, and now they hold a favored position.
We're not going to have it.
Game here is to get up to full speed. Kayard makes his move first, and he'll be going faster when the gun goes off.
Go down below the line. 20. 17. 14. 13. 4, 3, 2, 1, gun.
Another clean start and another good job by Dylan Bob.
And another Down East regatta for Stephanie. Let's see. It's been going on since 1986, and I think I've missed 2. So won't be missing this one. Evening, everybody. Got some sailing to do tomorrow, so I'm not going to be here all night long. Dr. Tapioca Weasel, how about that? Yeah, let's bring old Tappy in here. Hello, Dr. Tapioca Weasel. How are you? Tappy? You there? Speak to me. Say something. Anything. Okay. Hey, my YouTube punk. Pragmatic, how are ya? Looks like there's some karaoke going on over at Oz's spot, so we'll probably head on over there. And then me, I might just go to bed.
Can you hear me now? Yes,
I can hear you now. Sure,
there
I can.
Yeah. I forgot to start voice meter.
Oh.
So, yeah.
if you don't have your audio system running, that makes it difficult for people to hear you.
Yeah, I would imagine
no question about that.
I mean, I think we just have experimentally demonstrated that fact. You would think that somebody like me, meaning weasels, okay, we're able to get into all sorts of like small areas. We should be more familiar with how technology actually works, because we can get behind the walls and everything. But no,
I never really thought of weasels as being particularly technologically adept. But then again, you do go pop, so I don't know. Are people enjoying the America's Cup countdown? I kind of dig it myself. I think it's kind of cool. What'll I do for a countdown? I know.
Oh, I must have missed it. I actually popped in, and it said I popped in and you had just gone live or something. But
yeah. I just was watching Bree's premiere. And, I was doing some work in the loft and had just gotten through an afternoon, several hours of boat preparation and hanging out with my competitors, arch rivals, evildoers,
those bastards.
So
straight lines.
Oh yeah, wait a second. See, I'm you guys probably are hearing echo because I'm listening to shit in the background. I don't have my earbuds in and shit.
A very small amount. It wasn't too bad though.
Yeah. Well, hashtag unprofessional.
I mean, more professional than me. At least you have content.
Huh?
I said more professional than me. At least you have content.
Well, you could remedy that, but that I realize it takes.
I could, but at this point, it's. I'm kind of into the meme. I mean, just for myself. It's
Yeah,
really
well,
funny.
I mean, you and Titan, you know, you and Titan have got the no content high subscription thing nailed
Well, how
down.
many?
It's
He must have way more subs than me. I only have like
I have no
28
idea. I
subs.
haven't checked. I have sub envy. You know, I'm just
Well, you have a lot more subs than
everybody's got
me.
more subs than me, as far as I can tell. Let's see if this works. Connecting. Connected. Oh my! Now I can. Yeah, do all the things. And use
I
the
actually,
speakers. Hey,
I
how
was
about
hanging
that?
out. I was hanging out with my with several of the grad students in my group today at lunch, and
Yeah.
we were talking about like just whatever, and YouTube came up, and the amount of time I spend on YouTube and my various activities on YouTube came up, and I was like, I
Mhm.
told them about Bad Science Sunday,
Oh yes.
and all that. So hopefully, and Maya, you should check. Maybe I think a couple of them even subscribed. So
Oh,
you
my.
see, I'm out there. I'm shilling. I'm shilling for the content that I do produce. It's just not on my channel.
Chilling for the chilling. Chilling for the chilling. That's good. I got 190, I think, last time I checked, which is getting there. Getting there. All good in the race. Slow and steady. I keep beating up on people with like 350,000 subs. like, oh man, why do I? What about all these people?
Well, I mean, the last was it the last one? Did we do Riddle for the last one? I can't remember. But we're doing
What on Bad Science?
on
We're
Bad
doing
Science
Bad
Sunday.
Science. Bad Science.
Yeah,
We're doing
yeah,
Mud Fossil again, which
we're
is
doing
crazy.
Roger. It's gonna be great.
I know, and I've got I realized that indeed this is a turkey feather, and Roger's got a turkey feather. He uses a turkey feather for his little pointer thingy.
What a champion! I
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
remember
hey.
actually if to the extent we've figured out which thing we're gonna be doing. Because Maya and I were talking about some videos, but I don't think we like decided on one.
Yeah, let's see. I'm sort of into let's see. Share screen. I'm kind of into what am I? Where the hell is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Kind of into a nautical theme at the moment, given the fact that I've got this regatta coming up.
I don't know why
Which
he has to
is
lie to people, Stephanie. You and I both know that sailing is fake and the ocean isn't real.
well, that's the ocean behind me.
Yeah, and I've sat where you're sitting, and I know that it's a green screen. She's lying to you, chat.
That's true, but it is a picture of a boat. I was sitting in this very position at one point in time. Good for you. I'm stone cold sober too, which is, it's one of those things. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Why not?
Maya's
tab audio. I don't know.
Maya's in the chat besmirching my my good honor and my good name.
Yeah. Oh,
so
dear.
how many are in the regatta? Yeah. Tell us about it.
There are 18 boats. 18
that looks
boats.
like more
this
than 18
is,
boats.
Well, this is not 18, but this is the Falmouth anchorage, and this was last the blue moon of August, the second full moon, rising over Casco Bay, which is another piece of ocean. Let's see what else we got. Cloud. Yeah, they're good pictures. Oh yeah, this was after a squall that came through. See if I can get the rainbow. There's some rainbow. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how long is the race tomorrow?
And we did that today. Fuck you. Fuck you, Jack. That was fun. We didn't race that night. The great big huge thunderstorm came through. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it'll be all day. It'll be. They'll probably try to pack in as many races as they can tomorrow because it doesn't, and it's going to be tricky because we're sitting waiting for a cold front to go through, and we just had an enormous thunderstorm here, but that cold front is still off to our west. So we're waiting for that thing to move through, and it won't move through until tomorrow night. And it may be unsettled weather in the afternoon, chance of thunderstorms. The wind is supposed to be out of the south. Hope it's a sea breeze, but I'm not really sure. But it's the last forecast I looked at was 5 knots, which is never any good. But I think we'll get a sea breeze. I think it'll probably be more like 8 to 10.
So the worst case
scenario, after the front goes through, it'll probably it'll be calm, and then it's supposed to be light northerlies on Sunday. So they'll try to get as many races as they can in tomorrow in case we can't sail on Sunday. I mean, because you can't race a sailboat in no wind. Just can't.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like you can do it. You can do it with wind coming at you, and with wind coming from the side, and with wind coming from the back. But you can't do it with no wind.
No wind does not work. No.
Yeah.
It does not work.
Well, see, I think that's an attitude problem, Stephanie, and I think you shouldn't be such a quitter.
Well, the boat doesn't move. You can see it from these. Here's another little video. I think there's.
The boat also shouldn't be a quitter. If there's supposed to be audio, by the way, there isn't. I don't know if there is, but.
Oh. Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Oh shit! Well, hang on.
I can see it, but I cannot hear it.
What the fuck's going on with this? What the fuck's going on with this? All right. I'm gonna stop sharing.
I was wondering where you were, Al. I was like, Al's been in like all of the chats I've been in recently. There you are.
Share screen. iCloud Pros. Share. Yeah. StreamYard. See if it's share. I don't see the thing. Oh.
I think I'm on a big delay.
Mute screen audio. Wait a minute. Are you on a big delay?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. Don't.
Remind me to back
up. I hear it.
Yeah.
I think it's
Don't worry. I was going to remind you to back up at some point.
Yes. It was the thickest rainbow I have ever seen. Don't understand.
There's a bunch of pictures of us outside 49. So,
And there is the read
Can I
book.
see
Look at
you?
that.
yeah.
You can't
I see
people
something.
can't hear it.
I'll see you.
Damn
I
it.
can hear it now. I can hear it. I can hear it now. I don't know if they can hear it. Okay. Yeah, no, they can hear it too.
I just violated terms of service by showing my foot on the right then.
Is that actually a thing?
What? Yeah, apparently somebody.
They have a no
I think that
foot
was. Yeah, no naked feet.
I actually know
Seems a
why
little-
they have that. It's a weird thing, but I do know why that's a thing. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want to.
That makes me sad
either.
somehow.
Yeah, it probably should. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you're not wrong, Steph.
Well, I don't know, AR. It's like that's all I know is what the Beck told me. It's like, oh, you got all upset. I threw up my threw a foot in front of the camera. It's oh no, can't do that. Terms of service. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Really? He goes, yeah, oh yeah. So I guess I'd have to read. I personally, it seems odd.
Yeah, right. Yo, Al, you
Okay.
should. Do you still have the link open? It's it's right. It's at the top. You should pin it though if you want people to.
Yeah, I should pin it. I don't even have I don't have the YouTube part for this thing going on.
Only,
Yeah, I can do that. Jesus Christ. So complicated. All this shit's so complicated, really. I mean, yeah. Get the
not as
link.
complicated as operating one of those boats.
Yeah, that is
Competently,
complex.
at least.
But it's a complex world.
Yeah, I don't accept that, and I reject it, and would prefer to think that everything is simple, and people who are not like me are dangerous.
Yeah.
But
I
my
wonder-
criteria for that is people who like me are like me have to be awesome, and like you're awesome, and most people are awesome. Well, okay, maybe not most people, but most people I spend time with are awesome.
All right, I just pinned the message. There we go. So yeah, if anybody wants to come in here, come on in. I will say, if you are a person who is liable to defend a certain ruler of a Central European country in the first half of the 20th century,
National Socialist German Workers' Party, let us say.
and that fellow, little funny little mustache and shit like that, or an ally, or that, please don't come in. I just don't. I can't. I don't have it in me tonight. Or if you're
No.
someone who would care to defend Andrew Tate, no, I'm not interested. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm
I'm sure there are places like 4chan where you can just sort of take care of that. Take care of that groove, but here's not the place. Not interested.
Yeah, I don't think I certainly am not in the mood for it. So even if Steph was, I'd be like, yeah, no.
No.
I just
Yeah, but no.
it's a Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday night's all right for fighting, but not Friday night.
Al, I was gonna say, Al Trucker, you should come in. I want to ask you about the huge loads that you like haul in your job, because you sent me a picture and I'm like, I don't even understand how you fit that thing on a road without just crushing the thing.
Yeah,
Al Trucker is, as the name suggests, a trucker.
I gathered, yes. You are lagging a wee bit.
I mean, yeah, that happens. I don't know why that happens. It's my internet has not been fantastic this evening. But
at least you didn't lose power like I did for about a couple of minutes. That was kind of interesting. Big, huge.
I mean,
instantaneous flash and boom, and boom, out go the boom, boom, out go the lights.
I mean, at least the cause was readily apparent, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it's annoying when like the power just goes out, and you're just like, why did the power go out? The skies are blue, not just here, but for 500 miles around me. And somebody drove into a pole, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's usually a good indication someone had a tragic accident for some reason. Oh yeah, what else? I was going to find a fun picture of yacht racing. I wish I had the picture of the boat that the people on our boat were pointing at, because it was really funny. It was at what is the name of that thing in St. Martin? The Heineken Regatta, I believe it is, or was the Heineken Regatta. This was quite a long time ago, and this guy was coming on starboard tack. We were on port, and we were crossing them, not by a lot, but we were crossing them. And let me see if I can find this picture. It's a pretty good picture of the boat, anyway. Where the hell am I? I see. I lose my place too frequently. Too many
Story
things
of my
on there.
life.
Yeah. Sharing this tab. Oh yeah. Okay. So let's see. Stop sharing. Boats. Yeah, there's some boats. Yeah, it's got all kinds of boats. We got this is an International One design. Be driving an International One design. And this is the one I wanted to put there. This one's fun. This was a double-handed regatta that Sailman Jesus and I double-handed on. I drove the boat, and Sam was my crew, and we won the fucking thing. It was really fun. There's a picture of us. Look at that. Look at us go. Wow.
I can't see it.
You can't see it? Oh, maybe I'm not sharing the fucking tab anymore. Yeah, I'm not sharing the tab. How about that's probably why. Share screen. Yeah, share.
And then you also gotta, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we are.
Oh yeah.
That's Sailman Jesus right there, aka Sam Scrivener. On the Mr. Hanky, the boat that is a piece of shit and is owned by an allergist.
I love it.
And then there's little Steph, and then there's us being very, very happy at winning the regatta. And then this is the picture right there. See, there's Tom pointing suspiciously over at this boat, going, "What about this guy?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and what about that guy? And those are my legs, and I'm going. We're crossing.
Yeah. So
and then
that
there's
means
this
that you're-
guy.
So you're literally crossing paths, right?
Yeah, we're crossing tack.
Which means
we're on port tack. The wind is coming. The sails are on the starboard side of the boat, and which means we are the giveaway boat. There's another boat.
That's what I was going to ask. That's what I was going to
Yeah.
ask. I was going to say because if you crosses, instead of going behind them, you go in front of them, because that's how like beating somebody in a race works at some level, right?
At some level, yes, but we are the giveaway
at
boat.
some
We
level.
have to keep clear of this.
Yeah, and
that's coming.
So you have a quantization axis for your decision making given by the wind. The wind is coming at some direction, and so you're coming. And so when the wind is, if you're going left or something, I can't.
Do I need to
Yes,
get
you
out my whiteboard?
You have to get out your whiteboard, Steph.
Fuck.
You got to do
damn
it. Okay.
I gotta find
Okay, chat.
fucking thing.
Chat, it's whiteboard time.
Yeah, I gotta find it though. That's a problem.
Okay, well, in a worst case scenario.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay,
there we go.
I gotta do some drawing though on it, and I gotta get the markers. Hold on.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. I mean, worst case scenario, I can get out my whiteboard and like dance with it or something. I don't know. I have to turn my camera.
I might. Okay. Here, I think better than a whiteboard. I do believe I have this picture.
Hold on. There is nothing better than a whiteboard.
Album.
Well, okay, there might be. A figure is better than a whiteboard, possibly. You should call it a figure, though, not a picture.
But shit, I don't have that one. Oh, this was fun. This was really fun. This was really great. This was a Down East regatta a few years ago. There's us getting ready to, it's blowing about 30. And we're getting ready to do that.
Whoa. That is...
And if you look back, you'll notice here I am in the cockpit, basically telling people on the weather side of the boat, don't bother being up there, because if you hang up there and we go over any further, the boat will turn upside down. It just goes further that way. Anyway, the person in the water got knocked off the boat by the boom. Reaching down to try to grab onto her. Andrew's back there. And my caption for this photo is, I told Andrew not to text and drive. So yeah, that was all kinds of fun.
Oh yeah, like
here we
looks,
go. These are boats crossing tacks. That's a boat crossing. These are boats. This boat is on starboard tack. This boat here, I'm driving that boat, and this boat is on port tack. And even though it doesn't look like it, we crossed them.
It looks like they're going to collide. Like everything about that looks like they're going to collide. So starboard tack, does that refer to the one that is on the starboard? Because starboard is right and port is left. Yes, we're at that level.
The wind is coming over. The wind is coming over the starboard side of the boat. So the sails are on the port side of the boat.
I see. Okay. So it's where the wind. Okay. Fascinating.
The starboard tack has right of way. Leeward boat has right of way. Overtaking boat must keep clear. Let's see. What are some other right of way rules? I mean, then there's rule 18, which nobody understands, but it's actually quite simple. It applies when you're rounding a downwind mark, a leeward mark.
Okay.
And that is if the boats are overlapped within 3 boat lengths, then the inside boat gets to do their thing. The outside boat has to keep clear.
This is an awesome question from Farron Salas, which I probably said wrong. Why is the starboard side called the starboard side? And I used to know the answer to this. I swear to God I did. But I can't remember.
Well, Al Trucker is here.
Hello, Al.
Hi, Al. Starboard. I will get this wrong. And this is one explanation for it. I'm not sure that it's correct. In the northern hemisphere, the prevailing winds, especially in northern Europe, are westerlies. They're coming out of the west.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are heading south from, say, England or France to get to the trades, which are easterlies, and that come off the African coast and go roughly north of the equator in the tropics, the right-hand side of the boat is towards the open sea, where the stars are,
Okay.
and the left-hand side of the boat is towards land, where the ports are. And I think that that's the derivation of starboard and port.
Okay.
I mean, it's, it's English/Dutch.
That's where, okay, no, this is where I'm remembering. There was a random bit of trivia that was knocking around in my head, and I think it's this. I think it's the origin of the word posh. Because I think the origin of the word posh is port outbound, starboard homebound, or something like that. And it refers to like where the posh cabins on, a ship at some weird point in human history is. But I might have pulled that out of my butt. Sorry.
I would agree with that, except the rule for channel markers in Great Britain is opposite that. In America and Canada, it's red right returning, right? So if you're heading into a channel, into a port, you leave red markers on your right, green markers on your left. In Great Britain, it used to be that way in colonial America. In Great Britain, it's the exact opposite. And the reason we changed it was we changed it during the Revolutionary War. See, that. I think that is the correct answer. Majestic feedback. Yes.
So, Al, are you here? We have not heard
here.
you yet. There you are. I hear you. Yes, we can. Fantastic.
It turns out audio settings have to be set to have audio.
So I don't think you were here at the very, very, very beginning of the stream, but exactly the same thing happened to me. I joined and Steph was like, Dr. Tapp, where are you? Weasel, where are you? Vandy, where are you? And I was just like, I have to start up my software.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I've never used this device for that before, so it didn't work. And I didn't realize that the first time I ever used a StreamYard, it was on a device. I messed it up that time too.
Congratulations! Now you've messed it up twice.
Yeah, I have. I absolutely have. Thank you. Inviting me.
Absolutely. As though I did it. I mean, it's Steph's channel. This is my strategy. Always appear on other people's channels.
Channels and then invite
them up.
And Stephanie's learning us all about how to sail.
Well,
okay. Just psyching myself up for tomorrow's festivities. Hopefully, we've already been through what we had. This guy was supposed to sail with us. I was really looking forward to it because we sailed with him for like 3 years on a larger vessel, Morris 42X. He's really good mainsail turner. He's a young fella. He was the Marine domestic aboard that vessel, but he's a very, very good sailor. And but his partner had illness in the family, so he couldn't make it. So he bailed on us. We found a replacement, and they bailed on us. And hopefully, this guy he seems like he'll come. We've got our fingers crossed.
I didn't know there was a big demand for pinch hitters in the sailing business.
Yeah. Farron asked, does everyone just own their own vessel, or is it like a crew owns the boat? It depends. Most of these boats are, a person owns the boat. The J24 is, you can get a J24 for you can get a J24 that is fixable to be performance ready for about $3,000, but you're going to spend about $15,000 anyway to get the boat so it can be raced.
That's a fair chunk of change.
Yeah.
It is a fair chunk of change. It's not cheap, that's for sure. It's not then you got to find a place to moor it or store it, or get a trailer for the thing, and that's fine too. That saves on yard bills.
Yeah.
You still got to deal with stuff. So it's other people's boats is a much more desirable program.
You get the experience with the cash outlay.
Yeah, I mean, I have a boat, but it hasn't been in the water for 4 years, 5 years. Haven't had the people are willing to let me sail, or in fact want me to sail with them for money.
Well, there you go.
And it's,
because you're awesome at it.
Far more economical that way.
Yeah, you're doing it right on both sides.
I brag about you all the time in my life. I'm like, I have this friend, and she's an awesome champion sailor, and it's super, super cool. And then I have to tell them that the ocean is fake, and they get really confused.
I know. How do you work that out? I don't understand.
How could that be?
Yeah. There you go.
Well, now it's big enough I can see what kind of weasel you are.
I'm a least weasel.
A least weasel.
Least weasel, and I am adorable.
All right.
I am the smallest carnivore.
I did not know
you? Huh. I did not know that either.
I just call you Dr. Tap because there's too many letters after P.
Yeah, that's true. That's true in most circumstances. P's show up. I mean, whenever you have a P followed by an N, which happens way too often, I just want to say, right? There's no reason a P should be followed by an N. And
what if you're saying pneumonia?
As in pneumonia?
Yeah.
Yes. My dad was a pulmonologist, and that first P, by the way, there is no N, so but it feels like there should be. Because it's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. But so is most of the stuff I interact with willingly on YouTube.
Farron's throwing out a question that I think you should be able to answer for us, Dandy. Must be hard. It's more of a statement than a question, but must be hard to do celestial navigation on a flat Earth.
Yes, 100%, 10 out of 10. It's an issue that I plan on raising with my flat Earth friend. But because I'm this guy, he's too capable and willing to follow trains of thought that, like, I'm like, bro, you have to see that this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But
you talk to him. I listened to like the last 15 minutes of what I started listening to the other day, and I'm like, this guy understands concepts. How can he not
yes,
together?
yes, and he's really nice, and he seems genuinely curious. It's like all of the, so yeah, it's I don't know. I there are some. It's very linked to his religious beliefs. That's a fact he's very open about. If you go to his channel, I'm talking about Pitch Lumen, aka Nathan, of course.
Yeah, same one I was looking at. Yeah, one of the better,
exactly.
Of all the Nathans, he's the most.
Yeah, you know what's happening there is the law. It's the law of averages kicking in, because all of the other Flat Earth Nathans are like remarkably horrifically terrible, like in just on every level. And then you've got this guy who, like, yeah, he's a flat earther, but he understands concepts, as you said.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
So how does he not put them all together?
Farron's asking if I've ever used a sextant. I have a couple of times, but I'm not anywhere near expert. But this guy, it's this guy right here, the captain of this vessel. He was a lieutenant commander in the United States Navy, and he knows celestial really, really well. And there was a sextant aboard this boat. And that is, in fact, the last time I used a sextant was taking a noonside on the mighty Anthem.
Does it have to be stable to do that? Like, if you're in heavy chop, like, are you able to take an accurate measurement with a sextant?
I suppose close enough.
Better than 5 degrees?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, 5 degrees might be.
5 degrees would be a minute of latitude is a mile, is a nautical mile. So
a minute of latitude you mean just directly all the way from? Okay, yes, never mind. Stupid question.
Yeah, a minute of latitude is a nautical mile. So 5 degrees would be, you'd be off by 60 miles, right? No, you'd be off by 60 times 5 seconds.
Yes, but it's one of these things where if you're only checking your, how often do you normally check and, like, redo that calculation? Because if you're doing it continuously, which you wouldn't back then, but if you were doing it continuously, it'd be a thing. But like how do you do it in chop though? Like, I don't know how a sextant work. Is it like a thing that is arranged somehow so that you always have a tree down?
You line up the sun with the horizon. I
don't know what that means.
Cite the height of the sun at noon and the horizon, and that tells you, if it's 90 degrees, you're on the equator.
Oh, well, okay. Can you use a sextant at night?
Spot.
You can
if you have a star chart, and in fact you do. You figure out
those would seem, because star charts,
height of stars.
But you have to know what time it is, right? Like what time it is. This was why the invention of like a clock that was accurate enough that you could put on, because determination of longitude.
You just have to know when the sun is at its highest point, and that's the time. That's the reference time. That you don't need a clock for that. You just need to know when the sun is at its absolute highest.
Okay.
What you need a clock for is for longitude.
Yeah, determination of longitude you need a clock for, which I find it actually slightly remarkable that there isn't a way of working around that. It seems like there should be.
Well, but there isn't, because what you
I
do
know.
is you compare what noon is, local noon. And that's why you've got local noon at Greenwich is coordinated universal time, or UTC,
Yep.
or Zulu.
Yeah.
Right, and you just can compare. Well, when's local noon as you go along off to the east or off to the west or whatever.
The thing is, there is a workaround. It's just not a workaround that existed in that time period, because you could geometrically figure it out using time delay from electromagnetic signals, and you could triangulate positions that way. But they didn't have that back then, so they needed
AKA
an accurate
Loran.
clock. Oh, is that what that is?
Also known as Loran. Yeah, I mean, there used to be radio signals or RDF. When I started sailing, you could figure out where you were based on. You get a radio directional finder, and know the location of various radio stations, and you would figure out, well, there's this one and this one and this one, and here we are. You figure that out.
Yeah.
You just use an antenna to dial in this. This is W, whatever the hell it is. This is blah, 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 and you know where they are, so you can figure out where you are. And before GPS, there was a system in the United States deployed that was called Loran, which was basically just a whole bunch of radio stations, and they had instruments that would do the calculation for you. And now there's GPS, which is basically satellites comparing.
All the gaps.
We know where the satellite is. We know where that satellite is. We've got the clocks coordinated, so we know where you are. You need 3 of them, right? You need 3 satellites, and then you're good.
Yeah, but they typically use at least 15.
Yeah.
Like there are apps you can download on your phone that show you like the GPS information. And a lot of apps use GPS information, but this app shows you specifically which satellites it is talking to, and like where they are, like what heading you would have to head to in some coordinate system. I don't know if it's there's a lot of different things that you can base.
I mean, that's how Google Maps works. That's how all your land navigation works, and it's it's all.
That's how the GPS in my truck works.
Absolutely.
And it works when I don't have a cell phone signal, which is difficult to explain to anyone named Nathan.
You don't need a cell phone signal. You just need to have that. You just need the satellite information and the charts or maps on your phone, on your device.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In my case, I have a standalone device that has there's no cell signal to it. It's only GPS receiver. I have a phone as well, but when it doesn't work, I still have that. And you're right. On most cell phones, modern cell phones, you could download the background maps, and you'd see more than just a dot. Yeah,
I mean, I've got. Let's see. Yeah. There's the shit that. Well, wait a minute. I'm not even on the screen, am I? Well, look.
I'm never on the screen.
So there's the weather that just went through. Woohoo!
All I saw was lightning. Wait, what?
Yeah, it's all you needed.
Are you related to Thor?
I think she is. She also can come in and out. Like, I remember the night you were doing Monty Python on the screen. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
On the side with it. But you faded in and out like a ghost.
Yeah.
Al.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Al, how big was that? Where is this thing? This is the thing you had to, like, that thing looks, that green thing that you sent me that picture of.
That thing
That's
was tiny.
tiny. It doesn't
The one
see.
today was tiny. The one I sent you like the week before, that one was like my whole trailer, top to bottom.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Stuff.
find. Oh wait, no, that was a picture I sent of. Oh, this one. Yeah, let me open that. I'm gonna share that. So,
Alright.
hold on. Let me. Steph, if you are
Yes.
able to share the screen that I am showing.
I am able.
There we go. So
There we go.
Al hauls big loads. Now I assume with the crane down, I assume you don't.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's another crane there loading other cranes. So it's
Wait, hold on. So this
in
is
the
a crane loader. Or is this a crane loader loading crane loaders?
Sort of. So after I pull out, another truck will pull in and get. So in the foreground is my truck and a crane with the mast down and a folded mast. It's folded in on itself with this jib, and that sits over the rear axles. And then behind that is a crane that is ready to load a pile driving rig onto another truck that will pull in after I leave.
Oh snap! Hold on. Let me. I can zoom out a little bit. There we go.
Yeah. So that crane there.
Right here?
Yeah, that one there, and then the black part that sticks out, that's folded over, and then that will go up, and then there's other parts that will attach to it. That are so another whole truck is filled with parts that make the rest of that rig, and that's a piling rig. So that one when they set it up. Yeah.
Go on.
Well, no, that piling rig will drive sheet piles or H piles into the ground, and these guys repair a lot of bridges. And so
I don't know what an H pile even is.
So an H pile is an I-beam. You've probably seen them. And so an H pile it looks like an I-beam, and they're usually coated with something that gets driven in with basically a hammer. So they lift the hammer up with the crane and let it fall down, and it pounds that in. So what they do with an H pile is they put them in at regular intervals, like let's say 10 feet apart, and then they'll take a strong wood like a hemlock, and they'll set it in the channel. And so if you look at it from the top, it looks like the letter H. And then in each H, you get a stack of, I don't know, maybe 100 pieces of hemlock. And then the next one has the same. And then so what they do, that retains soils, so that a building or a bridge or a cofferdam or something could be put together beside it. And when I used to work in construction, I dealt with stuff like that. And now I move stuff like this around so people can do it. So that machine, I don't know what the weight is of that, but I would have transported that on eight axles the whole way, except one turn.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it, and this is something that like I note because I don't know, I'm weird. But like when I'm watching, like 18 wheelers, and this is a lot more than 18 wheels, right? How many wheels is this?
30. I think
this is 30 wheels. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like when you're watching an 18 wheeler, like the front ones are a little compressed because they're supporting like a lot of the cabin thing. But most of the rest of them, you don't really notice them being much compressed unless they're carrying something like really heavy. But I'm looking at all of these and I'm like, you're sinking down because this thing is huge.
Yeah. That machine would weigh over 100,000 pounds.
Oh yeah,
almost as much as my ego.
What's wrong with your ego?
Never mind.
Okay, I didn't hear
No.
that. All I heard was ego. All I heard was ego.
I don't know if you guys can see that,
Then it
right?
cut out.
There's the chart.
You should make it you should make it big because I can see it, but like I can't actually see it.
Hang on, I'm gonna get back to reality here.
Yeah.
All right.
My point is, yeah, I see that.
So that's So that is the chart. It's an nautical chart, shows all the marks and shows this is Portland Harbor. Basically, will be sailing like up in that area tomorrow.
Cool.
In between Mackworth and the Diamonds, probably. More than likely. That'll be the circle.
I haven't been sailing in a couple of decades, I think. And I'm pretty sure it was on a J24.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy boat. They're crazy little boats, those things. They're like, speaking of road legal, their beam is 9 feet 3 inches, and that ain't street legal to haul down the highway.
No, you have to use oversized permit, which is what we do pretty much nonstop.
Except, I've been stopped exactly once, and I've been racing these things since 1979. Been stopped exactly once at the main toll booth, driving through the maintenance. State cops pull us over, and guy goes, "How wide's that thing?" 8 feet. He goes, "Doesn't look like it." I said, "Measure it." And the trailer is, perfectly fine. The boat sticks out over the trailer, but how the fuck are you going to measure it? He basically goes, "Get out of here! Keep going."
Wait, hold on, because let me tell you, if I were like the cop or whatever in that situation, that would work on me once, but then I would bring a tape measure to work.
So I have to have a tape measure.
Yeah, that's because you'd be that kind of cop.
Yeah,
and I might already have one. Honestly, a tape measure is a handy thing. There's a better than 50% chance that there is already right now a tape measure in my car. I'm not sure though.
There is one in mine, but I'm not going to hand it over to the cop. Measure my boat.
Well, yeah, me neither. That sounds like madness. And also, like, come on, this is just good old fashioned American fishing and racing. I mean, you're not a fisher person, I imagine, but
well, why not? You're out on the water. You might as well
fish.
You might as well troll.
I fish.
I haven't heard you talk as much about it, so.
No, it's like, hey, it's fun, sitting there drifting around. Got a fishing pole, might as well,
I guess. Or
go after
you can't race when there's no wind.
Kind of fun. Right, exactly.
Yeah, so that trailer I had here with that load would be. So you said 9'3" for the beam, so that trailer's 9'6", I believe, and that load would have been about 11'10", I believe.
Yeah.
So pretty much a whole lane of like an interstate highway.
So is that what the flags are for then?
The flags just let other people know that that's roughly how wide, like that is a wide vehicle coming. The flags on the crane sort of mark where they are so people can see it. I can only run during daylight hours with a load like that, except in special conditions.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. So in a situation like that, I basically would be I'm basically just hovering the tracks on either, like I'm running the zipper line, and if I can, I run, over the shoulder a little bit to give people extra room. But in construction zones, I'm literally about 2-3 inches off of like the Jersey barrier.
Damn.
On one side.
You ever have like has something ever gone dramatically wrong?
thankfully.
Oh,
and
has something
touching a
ever
lot of
gone like
wood.
dramatically wrong?
Yes, for me, no, nothing dramatic. The closest I had was I was moving a very tall, so it wasn't heavy at all. It was just a very tall fork truck, and I was properly measured out. The way it works for us is we have permits that allow us to do oversized moves all the time. Width isn't a major problem. Length is sometimes a problem. Height is always a problem. So I actually measured my height today on a small machine. I thought I could tuck in a certain way and it didn't work. So I measured it and then I reset everything. But I had a situation where a wire came down and it turned out the wire was too low. It had probably been hit by something else. And I double checked my height before I left because we knew it was close to the edge. But we were 5 inches below what we should have been able to do. And I still caught a wire. And the police came and absolved us of responsibility and let me go. But someone had come and cut the wire while I was trying to get it unhooked from the fork truck, and it caused someone else unrelated to be in an accident. And so I waited around to see what happened with all that. It's kind of a disaster. But yeah, I have colleagues that have had bigger disasters, and I try to have as few disasters as possible. But sometimes I mess stuff up because of what's involved. But I haven't. I don't think
I've been
our
there.
company's done this recently, but people have lost those machines off of trailers. And there's a guy that did a video. He just pulled over to the side of the road, and the amount of weight on the one side tipped him over. So he didn't actually. He just couldn't go anywhere. He was just stuck. And my biggest mistakes have been trying to get machines out of places where it's a little too muddy or a little too snowy and icy. And then I've needed help.
Yeah. But like, does that turn?
I have seen idiots towing a J24 down the highway on a vehicle with not not long enough wheelbase, and they flip the whole rig over, which is not good.
That's common.
It's really stupid. It's like no. If you're gonna tow the fucking thing, don't do it with a Bronco.
Yeah, you need weight to tow. That's something that's
you need
not
weight
really
and wheelbase. You need weight and wheelbase. If the distance between the trailer tires is greater and the back tires of the tow vehicle is greater than the distance between the front and rear tires of the tow vehicle, somewhere the ratio has to be right. If it's anything less, then the trailer will just sit there and fishtail all over the road, and especially at speed. And once you start doing that, the only thing you can do is accelerate. If you don't accelerate, it just gets worse. If you slam the brakes on, it'll jackknife and flip the whole fucking rig over. It's ridiculous.
That's absolutely true.
People don't do it.
People
don't know that.
Light-duty vehicles and those combinations, because transport trucks have a slightly different setup, especially because there's weight. It's called a semi-trailer. Some of the weight's on the tractor.
I am fascinated. I am fascinated about what you just described, because I don't know exactly what it is you're describing. Can either of you find a clip like on YouTube that we can watch?
That definitely exists, and you can get this resonant. You get a resonance actually built, like it builds up like a resonant wave in the vehicle.
All right. I'm gonna tell this story, and I'm gonna end the stream because I gotta go to sleep. But here's the story.
It's like you told people.
Here's the story. Here's the story.
About a family.
We were going to do the district championships in Vermont on Lake Champlain. So I'm towing the vehicle. We have the van, the company van, and I'm towing the vehicle with the company van. Well, the company van was it wasn't entirely up to snuff, and the fucking thing started to overheat. Got down to Kennebunkport from like 24 miles into the journey, and the thing was just overheating, and it's like, shoot. So I pull over into the rest stop there, call up my partner at the time and say, look, I know this isn't ideal, but the truck's overheating. I can tow it with my Cherokee if I'm careful. So, okay. Get the Cherokee down to Kennebunkport. He brings the van back to the shop. And he and his daughter, she was our crew, we set out for Vermont. If you're familiar with Vermont, it is Vermont, like in Green Mountain. And there are quite a few interesting grades in Vermont. So I'm basically trying to keep it at basically 60 and not have the thing start doing this. Well, on one long downgrade, it got going. And it started to fishtail. Started to go like this. I was white knuckling it the entire time driving the thing, chain smoking as well, because it was somewhat harrowing. But it starts going, and it's like, I'm not going to hit the brakes. Don't hit the brakes. Don't hit the brakes. Don't hit the brakes. And by the time we got down at the end of this grade, I was going about 70 miles an hour, just trying to keep the boat on top of the trailer, and the trailer, because it was a single axle trailer, right? I think a double axle might have just would have flipped the entire rig over. But boy, oh boy, I certainly learned that. Yep, and you need weight and wheelbase. You know,
so you also didn't have room to like maneuver to like counteract or like.
You can't maneuver. If you maneuver, you will definitely, you know, you just got to go straight and hit the accelerator. You can't. You have to wait until you have to wait until the load settles and is going straight before you can decelerate, or you'll just make the situation worse.
Yeah, it's a freaky position to be in when a vehicle starts. Like when you're towing a trailer and it's not set up right, you get that resonant thing, and you literally feel like a giant has grabbed the back of your car or truck and is just shaking it violently from the hitch. That's what it feels like.
Resonance is a powerful phenomena. There's a reason all the pseudoscientists love it so much.
Well,
is that God I'm feeling? No, that's stupidity.
The people with small vehicles will buy travel trailers that they're not equipped, and they put in all these mitigating things like load distribution hitches, which really just transfer weight on the front axle, and then they'll put in what do you call it, sway bars or sway stabilizers.
Sway bars, yeah.
They're just just a friction device that stops the resonance from like taking over. But it's still happening. It's just dampening it.
Well, to be fair, that's still better than nothing.
Oh, it is better than nothing. Yeah.
A damped resonant system is going to be more manageable than an undamped resonant system.
Yeah. In a transport truck and an electric brake trailer, and I would assume we're dealing with things that are like at the limit of the breakover point where you'd be required to have one. Although in Canada, it's really a low weight. I think it's like under 2,000 kilos. You can not have electric brakes or something to slow the trailer. But in a transport truck,
I don't know. No,
you can pull the and slow it.
The J24, the boat itself weighs 2,800 pounds.
Yeah,
and
so you legally do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you got to count the trailer weight too, and that's 1,100 pounds or so.
It's probably in the realm of just legal, and so people don't put it on because
it is just, it is just
electric
legal.
brakes they get in the water.
Anyway, Steph, you've got a regatta tomorrow.
I do, and I gotta go. And I appreciate every one of you for coming and joining me on the stream, guests on the stream. Thanks so much for stopping by and coming in.
Absolutely.
Great to see you. and talk trucking, talk sailing, talk boating, talk
It's
anything
all,
but
all logistics of one kind or another.
yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, so thanks everybody in chat, and like, share, subscribe, and let me get over. It'd be nice to win this regatta and walk out of the weekend with 200 subscribers. That'd be fun.
All right.
Anyway,
Do it.
thanks
We'll see
all.
you.
Good night.
Okay, good
We're
night.
gonna go. Bye.